Welcome to the Red Room. Today we're going to talk about the movies of Interbellum. This
Yeah,
is this the correct title? I think so. Interbellum films.
probably not the title, but it will be that's the subject for
Hmm.
this video. Okay, so Wretched Interbellum is one of the latest releases, not the latest. There were some other yesterday.
Don't go into details.
Yeah, well, one of them is the scenario. So I decided not to include it with Interbellum, so there's a free scenario, probably one shot. Okay, so movies that can influence or that have influence or that can be used as influence for playing
Inspiration.
inspiration, yeah, for inspiration for playing or for game mastering Interbellum. Let's start with the obvious one. I think we mentioned it last time. This is just uh, in passing. Casablanca, obviously,
Hmm.
though it's in the end of this period, but yeah, it's, impossible not to mention Casablanca. It's the pre-World War II movie by excellence, par
It sounds
excellence.
good because I was. It's impossible not to mention Casablanca. Sounds.
Yeah, we'll always have Casablanca. But this is just an example, and we have several other things to talk about, and obviously there are several other movies. Actually, I don't think Casablanca is in there.
Yes, it is. It's in
Is
the list.
is it?
Yes, I was checking the list, and
Oh, I could have not mentioned it because it's too obvious, but yeah. So, yeah.
I would I did a list of films. That's why I was that are not in the list, and then I'm going to say to tell to and then you're going to say if they're going to mention them, and then you're going to say if they can be influences or not. But you can go
Okay.
first.
Okay. Well, let's mention something then. Well, Chaplin. I think Chaplin is
Mhm.
has to be mentioned here because he has several movies, several important movies. I'm not really a big fan of Chaplin's the Bum movies. I prefer his later work like Limelight and especially
Monsieur
Monsieur
Ver-
Verdoux. Yeah, and Monsieur Verdoux is Wretched. And his the earlier movies in the 1920s are not really wretched, but there's some wretchedness in it. It's kind of an anti-hero, I suppose. But
well, the bump could be
nice,
wretched, but it's too nice.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, it's too nice character.
Too naive.
But then, anyway, there are some movies in this time like Gold Rush, and Gold Rush takes place obviously in the time. Um, so would it be an inspiration being a Chaplin movie? Well, not probably not Chaplin, but the Gold Rush. Um, City Light as well.
Mhm. Well, the part when it
Yeah, too
the
romantic.
modernity exactly, but I'm thinking about the part that also goes well. The bumps character represents also the Great Depression.
Yeah, so that's
So it
another
can be an inspiration like that.
yeah, not having food to eat is always an inspiration. Um, Another thing, and this is very important for this this time, this era. German expressionism,
Hmm.
probably the most important current move in terms of cinema this time. Well, there's also the Russians, but well, okay, let's talk about the Germans first, but don't mention the war. So, the cabinet of Dr. Caligari, that's the correct name. I think.
Yes.
Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. Right. So this is one of the most famous. Metropolis as well, obviously.
Mhm.
Nosferatu. Well, Nosferatu can be actually called an inspiration because it's inspired by the book and that is Victorian England. But still, the atmosphere. I think the atmosphere says something about this time. Uh, it's obviously
Mhm.
the style of German expressionism, and I think it can be. Metropolis is the same thing. It's a sci-fi movie, but at, at the same time,
Aesthetic. That's
the
what you're
aesthetic, yeah, the Art Deco aesthetic and
Even because the expression is the
uh,
silent movies exactly the expression that is very the hair and all that style. Yes,
yeah. But, well,
the femme fatales. Well,
I'm not sure about the hairstyle in Metropolis.
yes, probably
But,
they're not. I
yeah,
don't even know if they are that futuristic.
no, no, I don't know. 1920s is kind of futuristic, I guess. It can be tricky for the
Probably at the time it was futuristic.
yes, the more the avant-garde style looked futuristic at the time, and probably still look futuristic in the 50s. I don't know, probably that's strange, but yeah, I think some of those movies in the 20s, um, even though the special effects were not really good, but they had an aesthetic that looked like
What do you mean by special effects?
yeah, well, they're special effects, something like that. Um, so these are what else from
Well, you
think
have
about?
there the movies with Marlon Dietrich that you just have
Oh yeah,
not some of them, but for example, Shanghai Express is not there, but it's also
Wenzel, I can't remember how
yes.
to say it in German, but yeah, Marlon Dietrich's movies. Yes, yes, that's it. Battleship Potemkin by Eisenstein. And that one is also makes sense.
And I'm thinking if you go, well, this is a Russian movie, right? Elita, Queen of Mars. It'll be almost the Russian equivalent
Metropolis.
of
Yes,
Metropolis.
yeah.
It's also very futuristic, very avant-garde, but he gives us a sense of the avant-garde feeling of the time.
There's another movie that is kind of famous. I don't think it's because it's not because of the movie itself, but because of certain characteristics. It's the first movie with sound. Well, not the first movie with sound, but the first full-length movie with sound. It's the jazz singer, and the theme also plays well with the time. It's about jazz. Uh, Naturally, there are recent movies about that time, but we'll go there after.
Uh,
I was thinking about Cotton Cleven, but
yeah,
no,
but
were you going to say something about the? You said something that you wanted to.
yes, no, because I was looking at at the films. Well, for me, for this time and looking at the list of inspirations, I also go to the books because we have Hemingway and oh damn it, I'm missing his name.
Steinbeck?
Steinbeck, exactly. And most of their books were adapted into films.
Yeah, well, Steinbeck wrote screenplays, right?
Hmm.
Or I'm confusing him with. Let me think. Um, if it wasn't Steinbeck, it was. Uh, uh, it was that. Oh yes, well, of Matt and Man. That's I don't think I've seen the 1939 movie. I'm not sure, but
I don't think I have seen it.
no, I don't think I did. Well, but there's The Grapes of Wrath. Um, uh,
The Great of Rats, I read the book when I was a teenager, and it was very depressing.
which one?
The Great,
Yeah,
of
no,
course
no,
it is. It's
they are
meant to
all
be.
they are all
Yeah,
yeah.
but when you go with Hemingway, it's different because you have, well, the sun also rises, and that is very European, and it's not that depressive. Because then, of course, you have the film, The Snows of Kilimanjaro, because there's a short title, but then you have the film. And I'm thinking if The Snows of Kilimanjaro could go, well, I don't know if it fits, if the film is done exactly on that time, but the story fits.
Yeah, it could be. For whom the bell tolls,
Yes.
the bell tolls, not the bell tolls. Um, well, I didn't think about this one, but now I was checking what John Steinbeck has written for Hollywood, and there's Viva Zapata, and Viva Zapata
Mm, yeah.
is included in the time. in the earlier period of this. Another thing. We should we should watch the Pack on one of these days. Um, what else?
Well, then I was thinking because of Casablanca and Maltese Falcon, I was thinking of Humphrey Bogart, and I was thinking, okay, can the African Queen be put in this period? Also, it's before the First World War starts, so I'm
Yeah,
not sure.
I don't know when it's supposed to be. Probably.
I think it's just at the beginning, because during the film,
Well,
the war is starting.
it says here that it's adapted from a 1935 novel by C.S. Forster, so it probably takes place in that time. Yeah,
Yeah, I think it happens just before the war is starting. The
the
first
first
one,
one.
yes, the Great
Yeah,
War.
well,
So it could be, right? It's
yeah. That,
almost, it's there.
the thing is not to be exactly precise, but it should kind of in the time it fits
Mhm.
obviously.
Yeah, because I was thinking for the ones, well, let's say for Humphrey Bogart's movie, these are more exotic, like The Treasure of Sierra Madre or Kay Largo.
Now, of course,
I mean, they're not
any
the typical black noir films that he did.
yeah,
So
Keyhorn is very
they
good.
have that like this adventure feeling.
Well, no, that I was saying, we're not going to mention, or at least not too much,
Mhm,
gangster movies because that's obvious. That's kind of obvious, right? Well,
mhm,
any gangster movie would work here because that's the time. Though Interbellum doesn't delve into that, so that's why they aren't in the list because that's something that you know about. So, but yeah, obviously it's all about this time.
Yeah, no, I went to these that are more, let's say, adventurous because of that feeling that
Right,
you try to take
right,
capture
right.
from
Yeah, yeah,
Corto Maltese.
yeah. So gangster doesn't doesn't belong in Kojo Malta. Well, at least not too much, but yeah.
It's too urban.
Right, that's it. So I'm a Republican. That's urban as well, but that's not as usual. And the only thing that there's a Call of Cthulhu setting, but I think it's woke as fuck, so it's
Hmm.
all about I think
Yeah, but I would say that the American gangster movies don't. Yeah, they are urban, but it's another type of.
urban.
Yes, I
Well,
don't know how. Well, there were gangsters in Germany, of
I
course.
think of course
They
I
all
think
dressed
that
like women.
I think the only thing that the only reason why we don't really have to talk about that is because there are several games
Hmm.
about gangsters, and Interbellum is not supposed to be a gangster game. So obviously you can use them as inspiration, but it's not supposed to be about that. So what would you like to talk? Well, that's all quiet on the Western Front.
Hmm.
That one is about the war. It takes place sometime before this start, but it's also a I guess it's impossible not to,
Mention the
not to
war.
mention not to mention the word you're playing in Trevelyan because you are unless you are so close to the Second World War that the characters will be worried about what is happening at the moment. If you are in the 20s, probably you will have some um, recollection of the war or the post-war at least. So that will be that will be a big thing in Trevelyan, even if you are playing characters that are in other countries that weren't involved in the war, but it was a world war, so everybody was involved in some kind of way. Um, okay, so do you want to talk about modern movies that are about not modern, but
No, I still have
this
another
year?
topic before. No, I have another topic that is the spy movies.
Movies, yeah.
Yes, that are there. Like, well, the 39 Steps, right? And wait, because I had something here. Ah, yes. So the 39 Steps is in the list, but could we put North by Northwest here, or it's too modern?
I think that's too modern.
It's too modern,
Yeah,
right? Yep.
even in terms of aesthetics, that's too modern.
But yeah, so the spy films like 39 Steps or The Third Man that takes place exactly on that time, right? Between the
Yes,
wars.
yes.
And some of them even well, both of them takes place in Europe.
As long as it's before the Second World War,
Hmm.
even if it's just months before, it could be. I think that's not a movie, but it could be. It probably will be. Um,
Hmm.
Falcon stories. They
Hmm.
are before the war, so they are during the Spanish Civil War.
Yes, but exactly at that time that is and that this spy stories well just right
And
before
right
the
in
the second war starts. It's also a really great
yeah,
period for
it, it has
putting
nothing to do
spies
with
in
the
Europe.
it
So
has
it's
nothing to do
completely
with
different for the
post-war games,
rest.
but yeah, but it's still I think it's still interesting to talk about
Hmm.
that because it's also not uh, really covered a lot. Gangsters are always the thing that people think about, and even in Call of Cthulhu, there was lots of stuff about gangsters, but not as much about uh, probably something with spies and pre-World War II, of course, but probably not as much as gangsters. So
Yeah.
I think gangsters we can just
That's
forget
why I
about
was
them.
looking at the list of movies and I was trying to figure out, okay, what is different? It will be those adventure films from the noir
Yeah,
periods and
yeah.
the spy films that are just before the Second World War.
Carnivale as well, even though it's not a
I think we
film,
should
it's a
do
TV show.
a video just about Carnival.
We were rewatching Carnivale,
Yes,
so we can, yeah.
taking
So
advantage that you're just
we just
finishing
mention it, but
watching.
then we'll take a closer look at Carnivale and probably other TV shows. Uh, now
Now
about
you can go to modern films for modern
okay,
audiences.
no, not definitely not. Okay, The Great Gatsby. It's not a modern movie. Well, it's modern if compared with it. It's a 70s movie.
I was thinking about so you're not talking about the one with Leonardo DiCaprio.
So I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, there was one Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh yeah, there's a meme about that, right?
Yeah,
With the drink. Yeah, no, I don't. I haven't seen that. And I don't want to see it. No, I'm talking about the movie with what's his name? Robert Redford. The Great Gatsby.
I don't remember if I watched that one actually.
Yeah, well, there's a problem with that movie. I'm not sure if I would watch it now. It stars Mia Farrow.
Mm.
Mia Farrow is the whiny bitch.
Daisy. Oh, but she's the villain.
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe we could watch it or not. I don't know. Perhaps. Um,
Oh, I just remember another film that is a good influence and it's not on the list. Lawrence of Arabia,
but,
obviously.
yes, I don't know how I forgot that. There's another one I think I forgot. And I just remembered. Chinatown.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you also
This is
forgot. Well,
a
you can
great
do that
movie.
when you do the Red Noir. You can have Chinatown there.
Yes,
I'm sure you
obviously.
will.
But though Chinatown is not really about gangsters, so it
Yes, exactly.
could be for this one as well. We are not mentioning the gangsters, but that is different kind of thing. Um, there's another one that I didn't think about, Papillon.
Mm-hmm.
And this one
Yes.
is placed in the right place, I guess. Well, kind of one of the right places. It's in Devil's Island, and it's in the 30. It's a good one, and it could, in a way, it could also be for Epoch, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Even
Yeah.
though the characters, well, Devil's Island is mentioned in the book, that's why I'm thinking about it. It was already a famous jail at the time.
I was thinking about uh what no yes. But I think that one is mentioned in Epoch. That film with Gene Hackman about the French Legion. But that's in a previous time, correct?
Yes, yes, yes. I guess. Well, maybe it could be. Probably it's in the end of the Belle Epoque, I guess.
Well,
So,
then I have another classic for you that is not there. Dr. Zhivago.
hmm, right. I didn't. put any
I know.
particular thing in the Russian Revolution, but yeah, that
Yeah.
that's a good one as
That's
well.
what I said I was going to do. I'm just throwing names
No,
of
but
films
yeah,
that you.
I quite like Divago, so it's a good one. So we have The Godfather Part Two.
Mm-hmm.
It's partly set in this time, and Once Upon a Time in America.
Mm-hmm.
No, these ones are about gangsters, but they are uh, at least The Godfather is not a European film, but Once Upon a Time in America is, and so I guess it could be probably. And there's another Sergio Leone movie. I think it's that Fistful of Dynamite. I can't remember if that's its American name. Um,
I think you need to
I
check
just
that.
remember that one. Fistful of Dynamite. Probably not. Uh, That You Sucker, maybe. That's that problem. There are too many titles, and I can't remember now. That You Sucker is one of the titles.
There's an awful title.
Yeah, it's a bad one. Let me check. Sucker is, yeah, I think it's the international title. It's also okay. So it's known as several other stuff. So it's Duck You Sucker, Duck Your Head, Get Down. The original title is Giula Testa, but it's also a Fistful of Dynamite and
Mm.
Once Upon a Time, The Revolution. So very good movie. It's set in a earlier period, even before Viva Zapata, I guess, but still that there's that adventurous uh, ambience that could be also this influence. Okay, you shouldn't. There's no reason to mention Bonnie and Clyde because that one is really good.
Yes. If you go with that, then you can also go for
Yeah,
the Untouchables.
of course, The Untouchable.
But
Then we have some stuff that is a little more like the color purple. Purple is also set in
mhm,
the early 20th century. And what else? I'm looking at the list now.
that's cheating.
What? Oh, brother, where art thou? That's also that's the. I think it's the Great Depression.
Mhm.
I'm sure there are several movies about the Great Depression that could be used. Uh, I can't remember anything specifically, but I don't know. I have vivid memories of things.
I think that my yeah, but I think my memory for most recent movies is starting to vanish.
Yeah, well, when I
Yes,
say recent
I
movies, I
know,
mean
but
in the 1970s, 1980s, 1990s, 2000s, early 2000s, not right now. I know probably there are movies about the era
yes,
made.
and people can tell us all about them in the comments.
Yes, of course. Now you can also watch Corto Maltese's
Hmm.
films. They are movies.
I remember we watched at least
Yeah, yeah. There are several movies you
the
can.
Ballad of the Salty Sea.
I'm not sure if you can find them, but they exist and they are in English. Dub, at least I'm not sure, or subtitles perhaps. I think they are that, but they aren't live action movies. They are animation. So, but it's those ones are exactly the kind of thing that we want to portray here. So that those would be they have the same names as the
Well,
movies.
there's also Indiana Jones, but
Of course, yeah, of course.
it's so obvious that
That goes without saying, yes. But yeah, okay. So especially the first two ones because
mhm.
the last one is I'm not sure when it takes place.
Well, it could also be the TV show, the Young Indiana
Yeah,
Jones.
yes, yeah. I think that's probably
I don't remember it, but I know I liked it at the time.
yeah, two teenagers.
Hmm.
The
I
teens of
was
the
a
teenager.
teenager at the time, of course.
I think I was a teenager at the time as well.
You were never a teenager.
Yeah, that was I think. Um, So what else? We're forgetting. But what
Not gonna
else?
ask you what's your favorite film of the period because I already know that the answer for that is Casablanca.
Yes, that's yeah.
So there's no point.
Well, we have mentioned last time. I don't know about what, but Sunset Boulevard.
Hmm.
Um, I guess several Howard Hawks movies would also be in the. I don't think I saw that one, but movie about Howard Hawks
Mm.
with Leonardo DiCaprio. I think I saw that one. It's a bit the Aviator.
I always have that thing. I never really liked DiCaprio, so well, I saw that I saw some of his movies when he was a teenager heart throb because my friends wanted to see them, but I never really liked Leonardo DiCaprio. So then it's like, it has.
Yeah, that one I watched. It's not bad. There are
Well,
worse
it's from
things you
Martin
can do.
Scorsese. Yeah.
Yeah, no, there are worse things you can do with that one. Okay, so any Fritz Lang movie, I guess. Is one of those.
Mhm.
But I suppose
But that one is not. Yes, in that one, unlike the others, it's well, it's not Metropolis, so I'd say it's not a silent movie, right? Or is it? I think my
sorry. No, no, it's
that's.
not. No, no, there are not that many movies. Let me check other movies by him. Um, Dr. Mabuse. It's also in this time. Um, then there are other the Hollywood movies
Mhm.
are probably not that. Maybe Manhunt.
I was trying to remember. I was trying to remember that one. Yes, it was Manhunt.
Yeah,
I was
Manhunt.
trying to
I'm not
remember.
sure if it takes place.
Hmm.
Probably it's already in during the war. So, but it could also be used. It's not an adventure movie, so I guess yeah, I guess that one could also be used. Even though it's placed, I don't know if I don't know. It's in the late 30s, I think.
Hmm.
The guy is going to kill Hitler, so it's
Yes.
like late
So
30s.
it's before.
It could be early 30s. Not early, but mid 30s. Could be 35. It could be wanted to kill Hitler a little earlier. And it probably would be easier to kill him if it was earlier. Maybe if you want to kill Hitler, uh, 35 is a better time. Or even 1920. It will be much younger. You remember anything else?
No, I think I'm remembering films that I know that are not exactly on that on the correct area now.
Yeah, well,
So it's a lot. So it covers a lot of things.
yeah. So
So it's a
in terms of
period that.
yeah, in terms of in a more generic way, so you have anything about the Great Depression,
Hmm.
anything about the Wall Street crash,
Hmm.
anything about well, anything that has some kind of connection with World War I, but even if
Uh,
it's even if it's set in World War I, that's not really a problem because well, that it has the same feeling. So that any of those movies, those later time movies set in the South Pacific,
hmm.
because it's set in the right place, even if it's not the right time. Um, Indiana Jones, of course.
Hmm. And
German expressionist movies.
and those
Uh,
spy movies from post, some of them are
yeah,
noir, but those spy movies
yeah,
that take place in Europe just before World War II.
yeah. Obviously, lots of Hitchcock movies.
Well, Poirot, yes, in
Yeah, yeah,
Poirot, of
Poirot, of
course,
course. Yeah, and the movie
because
that
that's an
is
interesting. So
yeah,
there's a different. You can also play as the rich Americans in Europe. And
mm,
I'm saying because in Poirot you have
yeah,
always you always have rich people.
yeah. So that's another that's an interesting way of playing from uh, people from Western countries, but who are traveling.
And you
Some
have
other books.
you can have a bit of a culture clash.
Yeah. So Death in the Nile and
Well, now about
Joint Express.
I'm thinking that if the talented Mr. Ripley, that's a very recent one. If it's, I don't remember if it's before or after Second
Talented,
World War.
I think it's after, but
It has that thing of rich
yeah,
Americans in.
set in the 50s.
Okay, so it's that one is too late.
Yeah, but yeah, the environment it feels like
Hmm
much later. So it's post-war, but not the right war. Um, Obviously, the gangster movies, which we didn't
hmm
talk about, there are also cool inspiration. Lots of movies with Marlon Dietrich, even if they don't
hmm
belong in the era, but they were made at the time. Lots of movies by Islam, that the later ones in Hollywood. Uh, well, even some from that time. All. Uh, Indiana Jones Chronicles, I think it was the TV show that you mentioned. But, okay, there, there's there's lots of stuff you can watch, uh, and obviously not just for Wretched Interbellum, but also for Call of Cthulhu if you are playing it in the correct time. And that I think it's an OSR game. Yeah, certainly an OSR game because the pundit was involved in it. Riders of
hmm
Ryla and the sequel, or it's not a sequel, but there's another book for that. That has some connections with it probably could play Interbellum with that. I'll have to check just
I would
because
think I remember seeing that, but I don't remember the name of the book.
yeah, the pundit reviewed it.
Yeah, that's where I remember it by from.
So it's from the Tideless Sea. The That's not a sequel, it's a campaign setting. And it's all about crews of sailors and pirates and all that. So I guess it's the
Good
same.
match.
It's kind of the same thing as this, but from an American perspective. So it's inspired by other things. Um, More inspired by Lovecraft, obviously, because this is a Lovecraftian game. But I'm sure the inspirations here are more American movies, probably, than books. I haven't looked at it, but I'm assuming it's. I guess it's written by an American man. I don't know, but I think so. But yeah,
Well, that's
these
it.
two could probably complement each other. And
And I'm gonna add that you can get, still talking about Interbellum, that you can get a short version for free, right?
sure, not
A
the
short
entire book.
version, no, sorry, a one shot for free. I was trying to remember the complete name of it.
It's called 10,000 Miles to PG. Starts in the Weimar Republic in Berlin, and the characters will travel to PG. You don't know anything about it, right? I wrote it, but I didn't mention it to you.
I know, but I only know because it was based on those little snippets of story that are on the book, correct?
Not
Oh,
quite.
okay.
There's
So
and
that's what I was expecting.
it's based on the that piece of
Yes, the
of
fluff, the
story.
piece of fluff. I know that
Yeah.
that is
So,
based
but
on that.
it's not exactly. So
Mhm.
then it's about. Well, I'm not going to say what it's about.
Yeah, well, it's free. You can go and get it.
Yeah. Well, that's it. But it involves some information that is not in the first, and it's something I stole from you. So
Hmm. For me?
from you, yes, not for
Yeah.
you. From you, I stole from you.
Oh, strange.
It involves Aditya,
Okay.
so that's it.
Well, that's all. We will be back next week, or maybe, yes, next week, because it's
Yeah.
Saturday, talking about films, probably.
Okay. Have a nice weekend. Bye bye.
Bye bye.